What do you think of Tottenham? What do you think of...
Mind the gap between the train and the platform. Please stand clear of the discussion doors. The next stop is Highbury Squad.
Good evening, Gooners everywhere in this fine land, on this incredible planet that we live on, Planet Arsenal. Super Kevin Campbell.
Hold on.
Oh. Cheers. I just thought I'd let Red throw up on the show today, Kev. You are wearing burgundy. It's a bit of a clash, but we don't care.
Listen, squaddies. How you feeling? Hey? Going into the big games. How you feeling now? Remember what happened last season at their gaff? Anyway, at ease, squaddies, and let's do this.
How do you like me now? How'd you like me now? Oh, where do we start? Where do we begin? Super Kev, why don't you just begin?
I've got a question for you. No, Sophie, I've got a question for you.
Yes,
and
sir.
This is a question for you and all the squaddies. How did you feel before the game? You know, as the game get closer, were you feeling really nervous, or were you feeling a bit calm?
All right, squaddies, let's hear ya. I was a nervous wreck. I was pacing since this morning. I couldn't even deal with it. So I got in my car and I drove to Starbucks and I paced in there for a little bit as well. Got myself a coffee. Came home and then I thought, maybe I'll take Vinny and Vesper for a walk because that's good pacing, you know?
Yeah.
And then I paced some more, made tea, made coffee, couldn't eat, just woofed a spinach feta wrap down. And yeah, I was an absolute wreck. I was so nervous because, Kev, after what happened yesterday in the Twitter sphere and the meltdown and everyone trying to embarrass us and take the piss, you know what? I was like, I've never wanted to win a North London derby more than this one. I've always want to win it, but I just wanted to win it so desperately, so extra. So let's see. Ayushman says I was confident we wouldn't lose. Tammy was nervous. Liz was nervous before the game. Jenny stressed. I got a note from your boy. He's in the 12 pins. Of course he is.
They're singing right now.
I don't think he'll be home anytime soon. Woody Wood was confident.
Love it,
very
Woody.
Nice, very confident. Let's see. Nervous. Schrodinger's cat flap. Carlos said, I'm usually a wreck, but I was so calm watching this team play. Vlodko, nervous for sure. Let's see. James, I felt gargantuan. Kevin, absolutely gargantuan. I knew we'd get the result today, especially. I got a little secret about that, but that's our secret, James. So I won't tell anyone. But maybe I will. If you WhatsApp me, I will share the story, but only with your permission. Jirki was a bit nervous but confident. Frankie was up and down, not nervous. Amira said, surprisingly, the calmest I've been before the game all season, was more nervous before the Newcastle game. Kevin, I want you guys to do the shot.
That's a sweet one, man. That's a sweet one.
There we go. Hey.
Oh, man.
So generally some confidence mixed in with some nerves. Let's see. Demsek says no draw. No. Kev said 2-1.
I said 2-1, but you know, any win will do for us. Any win will do.
Gary was a wreck before the game, but once we went 1 up, I eased a little. even in the 5 minutes added on, I was still like, is this really?
No, yeah, if they get one, you know what I mean? If they get one, it's going to be difficult.
What about you? You felt confident all week, haven't you,
Yeah, I
Kev?
did. I felt confident all week. Do you know why, Soph? And this is, it's been quite
Yes,
weird. It's
Forest,
Door on tour.
get
Door,
in.
Mr. Door, you're right, Mr. Door. Great result for you yesterday, by the
Yes,
way.
well done, Forest. We love.
Brilliant derby win for Forest yesterday. 2-0. Brennan Johnson scoring a couple of goals. Home form will keep you up, I told you, and I think you will be all right. I hope Henderson's all right, by the way. He seemed to go down with a little niggle.
Sorry to interrupt, Kev, but I wanted to give Mr. Daw some love. Great channel.
Nice one.
Forest doing well. We love Mr. Daw. Go on.
Yeah, I was. The closer the game got, the more calmer I got. It's weird. And for a long time, when have we really been able to say, I trust them? I trust this Arsenal squad to do the business. And I did. I left it up to Mikel and the boys. And Sophie, that's one of the best first starts I've ever seen from Arsenal. Especially Derby Day.
What a time to play your best 45 minutes of football.
Spurs didn't know what hit them. They didn't know what hit them. They were trying to press us. We were beating the press. They were sitting back. We were opening them up down the flanks. Whatever they'd done, we just had the answer for. And you know what? The game should have been over first half because we should have been in 3 or 4-0 up. Let's be honest. We should have been. Width of a post for Thomas. If that Thomas Partey one goes in, I'm sure the lights would have went out. The lights would have went out. I'm telling you, at the time Tottenham was there, the lights would have just went out. All broadcasts would have just went.
You know what's really funny, Kev, is I just said to James, I'm like, Thomas Partey's just given the ball cheaply like a couple times. He needs to just settle. And James is like, he's just he's brilliant. And I said, just needs to settle. And then bosh, he hits that shot. And I take that little teeny tiny complaint back that he gave away cheaply a couple times.
A couple of balls he did, Soph. And I actually said it. I said, because Thomas Partey is so progressive, he likes to play through the lines. I think Spurs done a little bit of homework on that. They tried to block the lines and keep him playing quicker, square. And a couple went out and a couple got intercepted and he kind of nicked it back. But listen, you're playing against a good side. They are a good side, whether we like it or not. But we're just better, Soph. It's that. And so, 6 months on from our humiliation.
Yeah.
Do you remember we said, I wonder if it's the best thing to ever happen to this Arsenal side?
Mm-hmm.
Martin Odegaard after, I don't know if anybody heard. Martin Odegaard said, well, after the way we played there last season, we just wanted to show how much we've improved. So smart, that guy.
He's
so smart. He's so smart.
He's so smart. I mean, the first half was a clinic. It was like a symphony, a football symphony. And I just sat back and I didn't really tweet at all in the first half. I just sat there and I loved watching my team play against our biggest rival. We've not won at their gaff for how long, right? Their manager is supposedly one of the best managers in the world, and he's won at the highest level. He's done it all. They've got Antonio Conte at the beginning of the season. Beware of Alex Crook at TalkSport. Oh, no, who was it? He was talking about it, but a whole bunch of them, the newspapers. Oh, beware everyone when Tottenham actually hit fifth gear. We are 14 points ahead of them. And considering our collapse at the end of last season, because it was a bit of a collapse, mentally, for this team to come back and play the way they have and done what they have so far this season and be 8 points clear of Manchester City, who we were all told will walk the league with Haaland, is just amazing. And for the first time today, I sat back and I was like, wow, you know, not only can we win the league, but listening to the player interviews after Mikel Arteta, when he was challenged with the Mudryk question, when he was challenged with what was happening on the pitch after with Ramsdale, seeing him run out, and he was giggling when he was trying to save Ramsdale from the fight. And then Xhaka,
And
I
then
almost
Xhaka,
felt like
yeah.
Xhaka was like, I'm protecting my boy. I don't know, it sounded like he said something like that. It was just, and at the beginning, I was like, Sessegnon was playing well against Saka, but he adjusted, and then he had him for lunch and dinner. And tomorrow morning, he'll
And
probably
snacks.
find him in his cereal. I
And
mean,
snacks,
it was
yeah.
unbelievable, Kev, that first half. When you're a player and you play in a half like that, and you've done that with the Arsenal, that must feel so sweet, Kev.
Sophie, let me tell you something. When you play to a level that the opposition can't reach, and it's a North London derby, that's special. That's why we're talking about the ceiling for this team. We think the first half of the season has been good. I honestly believe the second half of the season could be better, because everybody's starting to understand each other's game now. They're starting to really mesh, and we've had a break, so they've had to re-engage. And do you remember last season, Soph? Anytime they kind of went away and came back, they were all over the place at the start. We couldn't get it together a lot of the time. Now it doesn't matter. It seems as though the togetherness in this team is there. Everybody's focused, and they huddle before and they huddle at halftime. I love it. Absolutely love it. Listen to the Arsenal fans there in the stadium. Do you know what? That's a sweet one. That's a sweet one. We earned that one big time. First half, incredible. Second half, done what we needed to do, Soph. Absolutely brilliant.
Brilliant stuff. Kev, real quick before, don't worry, we're late too. And we stayed late for a reason, because Super Kev was working for Astro TV. Stripes really do make you look puffier, don't they? So here we are, and we're late. And there's over 500 of you in live chat right now. Kiss it, nut it. I mean,
slot it like Odegaard in the bottom corner. Just slot it in there, right? Come on, let's get 75% likes minimum. If there's 500, we want 375. Come on, squaddies. If you can't give us the likes today, we might as well wrap it up. No need to brock the neck, because we broke Spurs' neck today.
Absolutely. So, Kev, how do we want to do it? Should we go through? For me, the players all get 10s, right? But of course, we're going to talk about their performances individually.
Yeah,
so,
listen, I give all the players 10 anyway today.
Because if we want to talk, a little bit about.
But we're going to go through. We're going to speak about the players.
Yeah.
But I want to give all the players 10. I'll tell you why I want to give them a 10, Soph. The pressure was on us again. I know Manchester City lost and United won yesterday and all that kind of thing, but the pressure was on us. We're not at home, we're away. We haven't won there in such a long time. We don't know what Arsenal's going to turn up. And the best Arsenal turned up today, Soph. The best Arsenal turned up. And we won the game comfortably, didn't we? We won it comfortably. Yeah, Spurs rallied in and said, but you can expect that. It's a North London derby. Ramsdale produced some fantastic saves. But what mattered most, Sophie, was we went there and we showed our dominance. First half, did you see Kane?
How deep he had to come.
He had to come so deep to try and get a touch of the ball, but we just played around them. It was total dominance first half.
It was total. I know Don won. He's got his receipt when I said that Mikel Arteta isn't very likable. I did say that, and he wasn't at the time.
Well, he is
And you know
now.
what? Rebecca Lowe said he needs to chill out in press conferences too, because people will get behind him more. And you know how press are when they like a manager, Kev,
Oh,
they get a
they
bit
start
friendly.
writing. They write
Yep.
better.
Yep, they certainly do. So yeah, and the listener who just said we don't do super chats here. We try and get as many comments in as possible. Everyone has a voice. So yeah. All right, Kev, let's start at I love it when it's like hopping like this too. 600 in live chat. Let's rock and roll.
Ramsdale. Soph, do you know something? When we're 1-0 up, do you remember Son had a chance where he made
Yes.
he made a really good run in the box, and Ramsdale came out and kind of smothered it, saved it, kept us 1-0 up. Big save. Second half, that Sessegnon, Kane first and then Sessegnon save. Sessegnon was in, just tried to slot it past him. Big save. His handling was perfect. His kicking was perfect. And in the past, Soph, we've said he's got to calm himself down. Biggest of games, Ramsdale's calm as anything. And he also gets assaulted by one of the Spurs fans, by the way, which is a disgrace. He definitely gets a 10 for not chinning him. Let's be honest.
He could have pulled a Cantona and he didn't.
Hey,
yep.
Listen, he could have. That he would have been well within his rights. He got assaulted. So, Rambo, I salute you. I salute you, Rambo. Fantastic 10 today, mate. Incredible. And man of the match on TV.
So we talked on Monday, I think, where we said, you know, against Brighton, there were a couple moments where he gets overly excited and things like that. Today, he was everything we wanted him to be and more. And Kevin, that first half, right at the end, at the death, the saved header from Kane.
Mm-hmm.
If that goes in and it's 2-1 and the ref blows that whistle, it was just before the pathetic attempt to win a penalty, which, by the way, and the Academy Award goes to.
He should have got booked for that. I'll tell you.
Disgusting. Absolutely disgraceful.
Nowhere near a pen. He should have got booked for that, Højbjerg.
So I expect Tottenham to be fined. I expect the fan to be banned forever from any stadium, let alone Tottenham Stadium. It was a disgrace. I don't know if you also saw that when who was it? I think when Ben White, when he went up to their hoardings in the first half, they were throwing some stuff towards him as well. Yeah. But for me, Rambo was the man of the match. His saves were pivotal, and at times the timing of the saves as well were incredible. And at the end, when he made that last save and the team came up to him and they were like rubbing his head and stuff, that's when you know your defense is saying, thank you. Thank you, son. Thank you, mate.
You kept a clean sheet for us. Because that's like a hat trick. That's a win for the defense. That's like a hat trick for the defense. So Rambo, I thought Rambo was outstanding. So yeah, he gets a 10. Listen, they all get 10, but let's talk about Ben White.
Go on.
Sophie, this guy, let me just say, Benny Blanco, as we call him, as his another moniker. Son, do you remember the problem Son caused last season?
Mm-hmm.
He had that chance in the first half because he kind of came in. But one-on-one duels, Ben White was outstanding. He was overlapping. He was helping Saka on the overlap. Defensively, he was sound as anything. Immense. Everybody was immense. His passing was good. Aerially, he was dominant. And you know what? He's got a good lad beside him there. He's just got a good lad beside him there at centre half as well. Just any time he needs to step out, Saliba could just move across. Ben White, outstanding. And you know what, Soph? A lot of people questioned him at the start of the season. He's a centre half. He can't play right back. He's one of England's best defenders who gets disrespected, I think.
I mean, you know, I don't know what happened in the England camp, but I think Gareth Southgate should be feeling a little bit embarrassed right now. And a lot of people should be feeling a little bit embarrassed. And that's okay. And, you know, our fans have embraced him. They love him. And someone just said he's the unsung hero. He has been our most improved player since coming to the club. He's unbelievable, Kevin. He is so I know this is going to sound crazy, and don't shoot me, everyone, because I'm just talking about his composure, his style, and the way he is on the ball. It's like Paolo Maldini, Kev.
Comfortable.
Nothing bothered
Comfortable, isn't he?
Maldini ever, did it?
No.
Nothing.
He played at his own pace. Yeah.
Yes. And like you said about Odegaard when he slows the game down, there's something about Benjamin White where he just slows everything down. And I don't know, I was going to put this up so you could talk about these two together with him. But my God, what have we found here with these three? And then we'll add the other one in as well. But
yeah, let's keep him because he's kind of midfield, and he's
yeah,
unbelievable.
exactly.
So I truly feel we've got the balance right at the back. We've got Ben White, we've got Saliba, and we've got Gabriel. And you could plug Zinchenko in, you could plug Tierney in. We know why we plugged Zinchenko in most of the time, because we want to dominate the ball. And when we do dominate the ball, there ain't a lot of teams who could live with us, Sophie. Mm-hmm. That's for sure. There was not a lot of teams who could live with us. But those three together, I was never really worried, Soph, today. I was never really worried because there was never any bodies on the line, and it was balls were coming in, we were clearing it. Balls were coming in, we were clearing it, making challenges, ushering people the right way away from the goal. Smart play, nothing rash, just smart defending, clever defending. When we needed to get tight, we got tight. When we needed to back off, we backed off. And you know what? The passing from Gabriel Saliba through the lines to Partey, who can then get us moving, I don't think a lot of people give that enough credit. I honestly don't, because Thomas Partey is like a conductor in there. If you don't give him the ball at the right time, he can't orchestrate the team. These guys give him the ball, make angles, he gives it back to them, they go around, they play. We've got a special defense, Soph. I'm telling you, we've got a special defense.
We've been waiting for years to have a defense like this. And there is something. When we were under pressure, and we were under pressure in the second half, the composure is unreal. And the cohesiveness, Kev, no one gets in each other's way. They don't make mistakes like that.
They don't cross over. They don't cross over. They keep their positions.
It's just a beautiful thing to watch. And then, as I know, I joked about still being nervous with 5 minutes of added time, but as that was going on, and then you see Perisic and Son arguing with each other because their movement is off, their passing is off, their timing is off, everything is off. I was like, wow, we have done this we've destroyed them. We've destroyed that. We took their soul today. We snatched their soul.
Yep.
And we buried it, and I give all of them, they all get a 10 anyway, but we've said that. But yeah. And then when Kev, I'm just going to let you take this one.
Zinny.
Where is he? God, I love him.
Listen. If anybody wants to see how to play that position, look at the first 20 minutes of this game. This guy here was outstanding. And that isn't just on the ball, it's positional sense as well. His positional sense is incredible. And I saw something today which surprised me. I saw Thomas Partey leave the center of the pitch and Zinchenko in the middle of the pitch on his own, holding the fort as a left back. That was second half, while we play round. Why? Because Thomas Partey knows I can trust him. He knows he can trust Zinchenko. The way Zinchenko gets out of trouble just by a drop of the shoulder, a movement, a swift pass, a 1-2, and he gets out. This guy's technical ability is incredible. He makes us a better team. He really does make us a better team. And you know what? Especially after the news of the day before with Mudryk obviously going to Chelsea, I'm sure he was feeling a little bit, you know, I wanted him here because I know him, But that performance, think about it, Soph. That performance, you spend all that money on Mudryk, where's he going to get in the team? Where? He'd only be a squad player.
Yeah. And I want to get your take on that at the very end, because you and I went back and forth on text about it. But yeah, he is very special, so unique. He is the jigsaw part. Like when Liverpool got Alisson and Van Dijk, Kev, it was like the final pieces to the jigsaw puzzle. And look, of course, we want to reinforce. Don't get me and Kev wrong here. We want reinforcements this window. We want them bad.
Want to start tomorrow.
When you get a player like Zinchenko, who, by the way, Kev, we could argue that Manchester City are missing having him as an option off the bench or starting this season.
So, Manchester City are not the same without him and Jesus. They're not the same.
He's just so special. The way his movement, but the other thing too, Kev, his technical ability in tight spaces is unreal. Like, how special is that for a footballer to have that trait? It's incredible.
So, let me tell you something. The fact that he can, in tight spaces, maneuver the ball and maneuver us out of potential pressing situations where once we beat the press, all of a sudden we're in at the opposition's defense because of his cute play. That is a trait that you can buy it, but there are not many players from that position who can do that in world football, let alone Premier League. In world football, this guy, I think he was a bit disrespected at Manchester City. People never gave him the credit he deserved. No. But now you're seeing how good he is.
And some of the squaddies are asking you, Kev, how did Pep let him go?
Well, because you see, Pep let him go because Pep couldn't guarantee him first-team football. So, remember, the Manchester City squad is deep. So, okay, he's saying, I actually want to put Cancelo left back. And obviously, right back is what's his name? The guy who used to play for Spurs.
Walker, yeah, Walker.
Walker, sorry. Yeah, Walker's right back, and Cancelo's going to be my number one. So, obviously, Zinchenko is like, okay, well, I want to go somewhere and play. We've won 4 titles here. And listen, Pep probably said, all right, we could rejig some money here. So if we could rejig some money and I could bring Haaland comes in and Alvarez comes in and, Calvin Phillips comes in, I could jig that money and utilize it somewhere else. We're not struggling at the back. But what people don't realize, and Pep maybe didn't realize, is this guy makes a massive difference to your team because he's a midfielder playing fullback. Cancelo's a defender who's good going forward. Zinchenko's a midfielder playing defense. And when he steps into that midfield, he's as comfortable as anybody in that midfield. And he can defend as well.
So there are a couple of people in the chat saying he can't defend, don't be blinded.
Don't be blinded. Well, he defended well today. How did he get exposed today? He didn't.
He didn't.
So if he can't defend, he would have got exposed. And he was against Kulusevski. And remember, Sophie, if Kulusevski weren't there, we would have heard, Kulusevski weren't playing.
Yeah, exactly.
Well, they were all there. That's why I wanted them all there. So nobody can't say anything.
Only Bentancur wasn't playing in the midfield, and Richarlison came on with 20 minutes. Also, I know he does good things off the pitch, but what a punk he is on the pitch. If he plays for you, you love him. If he doesn't, he's like Bruno Fernandes. You loathe him. He came on and Tony was watching the game. She's like, who is, I think she called him a cotton bud. He's like, who's the white, because of his hair. She goes, he's so annoying. I go, welcome to meeting Richarlison.
Yeah. Yeah. He does play with an edge, but Zinchenko. So again, he can't defend it. Well, you know what? We got the second best defense. And he's in it.
So how about we go here?
Oh my God. Oh my God. Oh my God. Look, I know Party was a little bit wasteful at times, just a little. But without himself, I am telling you, the general, the Rolls Royce in that midfield, we cannot do what we do because of the way he maneuvers the ball, the way he probes. He passes it, he gets it back, and then that ball for Saka over the top just opened the defense up. That was the first goal. And the second goal.
3 players around him there, Kev. 1, 2, 3. He thinks it up and makes the pass.
Straight over. And listen, if he scores that goal, he would have got 11. He would have got 11 if that one goes in. I'm telling you, because that was some hit. But again, Xhaka up and down and putting tackles in. And you know what? I think Xhaka's work today was quiet but effective. He got stuck in when he needed to. He held his position when he needed to. He just kept the ball moving when he needed to, Sophie. But that's what we need. Sometimes we don't need Xhaka to be, breaking into the box all the time and doing it. No, we don't need that. He done what we needed. Be a partner for Thomas Partey in there. Support Martinelli. Support Eddie. Keep the ball moving. Shift the ball quickly. And that's what we done. And it worked to a treat. And you know what? Spurs weren't even, you could only really talk about Spurs in the second half.
Yeah.
Because we wiped the floor with them.
They gave it a go. They did
get
more involved.
They had nothing to lose. They're 2-0 down at home. They had to fight. They had to show a bit of fight. But we were just dominant. And the engine room is where it starts, Soph. That engine room, and we were so dominant in there. Fantastic. Absolutely fantastic.
Okay. I have to put this up for him because I couldn't resist. James sent it to me, and I have since seen it go viral on the old social media. Kevin, isn't this?
I tell you what, I could see a couple of 2-0s there. Could you? I could see a couple of lads saying 2-0. Well, so let's be honest. This guy, and I know when he first came, a lot of people were umming and ahhing, blah, blah, blah. This guy's just getting better every week. He's getting better and better and better and better. And we said it from the first game at Palace that he's got to shoot more. He's adding goals, Sophie. He's adding goals. We don't have to rely on Saka, Martinelli, or Eddie. We can get goals from other parts of the team. That was the dagger. That was the machete coming down. Woof. Woof. Bang. Chop the head's half hanging off. So it was done after that goal. Odegaard is brilliant. He's a brilliant captain because he leads by example. Absolutely fantastic performance. Absolutely fantastic.
Yeah, he was, you could tell at the beginning, it took him a little bit to get into the game in that first half, but my goodness, once everything settled, it was like he was assessing everything, Kev, and the computer starts going, I'm going to file that here, I'm going to file that there, I'm going to file that there.
He worked it out. It out.
Just completely dominant in possession. Works so hard out of possession. Doesn't get enough credit, I don't think.
Big time.
For that.
Big time.
And what a captain. Absolutely G-Dog. an amazing. We stole him. Who just wrote that? Whoever wrote that. The chat's moving too fast because there's 1,020 of you. And let me tell you something about the Arsenal fan base. Okay, our supporters, our shows get more people engaged when we win, and this is what I love. Not when we lose, when we win. And the fact there's over 1,000 of you in here tonight, thank you, number one, for making us part of your day, your evening, your afternoon, or your morning. And Super Kev here, who just finished up waxing lyrical about the Gunners on Astro. You know, this is this is what we've been waiting for. What we've been waiting for. And this captain that we have is just indicative of the players that we fall in love with, and we just can't get enough of them right now. They're representing our club with class, with passion, with authenticity. Like, you know, they want to be there. They love and care for each other. It's really quite incredible to watch.
It means something for them to perform. It really does. And that's why I sat back, because I was thinking, I trust these guys. You know, they've never once this season in the league turn around and we say they were way off it. No. They've always been at it.
Always. Always.
Oh,
All right,
that.
who's next, Kev?
I like that, Newman. Well done. Next are Martinelli. Let's do Martinelli and Saka.
I've got these
three. Let's do the three. Let's do the three of them.
You're the expert in this area. I've been dying to think what you think about Eddie as well, but I'm sure you'll start with Gabby or
honestly, I thought Eddie had a really, really strong, great game. I'll tell you why. Because he linked the play so much, coming deep, like Jesus would. He's not a Jesus, but he controlled it. He played it around Spurs players, and then he went up the pitch. He chased everything. He was a bit unlucky with a couple of touches in and around the box. The one in the first half where Martinelli's closed Lloris down. Do you remember that one?
Mm-hmm.
It's gone out to Saka, I think. Then Odegaard's hooked it over his head, and Eddie's had a left-footed shot, and Lloris has saved it. And then that pass where Xhaka's hit him, it was a bit of a bad touch, but, you know, he's had a shot at goal and Lloris saved it. But I thought Eddie's all-round play as a number 9 today was outstanding, I tell you. The terrible trio caused Spurs massive problems today. Martinelli's direct running, Saka's movement and direct running, and his ability on the ball. They didn't know what to do, so they were like, what are we going to do? And then when they think they've got them, Odegaard pops into the hole, had Lloris save one that was going in the corner before he scored, if you remember. He put one around the post, and then obviously Odegaard gets in that position again and absolutely dispatches it in the corner. The terrible trio, they're only babies, really, Soph. They're only babies. They're still only babies. They're a little bit more experienced now, but they're still only babies. And you know what? Everybody said Eddie won't be able to help us. So we're just as strong. We are just as strong.
If he played like Jesus today.
He even made a tackle at left back, at right back. Could you remember that tackle he made at right back?
He did that, and his pressing was phenomenal today. Yeah. Now, what would you say to Arsenal fans who might be a little bit disappointed? This is why I'm saying he played like Jesus today, because he missed his chances. But he had a little bit of a lead foot with that first touch. He had 3 really good chances. One, you would say that you would have destroyed the back of the net with your foot, Kev. What would you say to fans who might be a little bit critical of that part of his game?
Listen, as a striker, you can criticize the chances and not taking the chances. You can criticize because that's your job, to score goals. So you could understand that. So I understand that. But nobody can say Eddie didn't work his socks off. Eddie didn't hold the ball up. Eddie didn't make us better with his hold-up play, shifting it, taking the hits, etc. Nobody could say that. You could say maybe he should have done better with some of the chances, but he knows that anyway. But he has improved his all-round game no end, so he really has improved.
Physically,
Physically, he's a lot stronger. Yeah,
it's insane, kind of the way he's worked on his body in the last few months and a year or so. That before and after picture. There was one part where the camera was close up after he again ran and hustled. He was trying to get it into the corner flag. He held it. Had
in
three
the corner.
Tottenham players.
Yeah.
3 Tottenham players around him. Goes out for a throw, and he's walking away. And I'm like, wow, Eddie's thighs got huge over the last few months. I mean, he's really, you can tell,
strengthened.
you know. And I keep saying, I want him to continue making a fool of me, because it's a beautiful thing to see another Arsenal boy come in and do exactly what Arteta wants him to do. I think, Kev, the way he holds the ball up, he deserves a lot of credit for that.
I think
Today,
so
he
too.
was really good at holding the ball up. Okay, he should have finished his lunch, but unfortunately he didn't. In the end, though, you know, he kind of played, I thought, the way Jesus plays.
The team. He played for the team today, Eddie.
Yes.
He played for the team. And all of the front three, the terrible trio, I thought, had Spurs on toast. And even when it was against us in the second half, I thought Eddie done great, chasing balls down, winning it, and us breaking. But we didn't need to go crazy. Martinelli was causing problems. This boy here, Saka, he just gets better and better. So I'm telling you, he just gets better and better.
Yeah,
so
definitely.
Everybody played their part today. Everybody, the subs who came on, and there was no real drop-off, which is good. We were defending, so getting Tierney, fresh legs, and Tommy Arsu on. And it was great to see Smith Rowe and Vieira come on towards the end as well. Just excellent performance.
And
really
I did want to touch on...
I'm even giving them 10. I don't care. Listen, we deserve this win. We deserve this win. We earned it. We earned this.
Yeah. Tierney looked a little bit lost when he came on, Kev. I don't want to nitpick anything today because we beat them at home. Hasn't happened in a long time. But don't
forget where he played. He wasn't left back. He wasn't
at left back. Right.
He played left mid. And because
I don't want to be harsh.
Because he played left mid, sometimes, you know, he's chasing around and you're not getting close to people. Sometimes that's what you've got to do. So maybe it did look a little bit lost, but the effort was there. That's at the end of the day, go out there, work hard, run about. The effort was there. Obviously, he could slot back into left back when Zinchenko went off. So, yeah.
And again, you know, one of the great things, and something I said, I was chatting to Hugh Wizzy earlier, and the goals are coming from all areas of the pitch. We've gone from relying on Aubameyang, gone from relying on Lacazette for maybe 3 months. We've gone from one reliant goal scorer to players contributing and getting goals. And you've said it a long time, Kev. Our midfield needs to get more involved in that. The wide players too. And here we are. Right. How about the gaffer? By the way, can you please, as a player, talk to me about what it would probably feel like for Tottenham players to play his kind of football? And then you see someone like Arteta, who's a young manager who, you know, is clearly showing the world what he offers. Kind of out school. Take Kev.
Well, if you remember rightly, do you remember last season? People were saying he was out coached, he was out schooled. No, he didn't have the players. The players weren't there. And if you're in the Spurs camp, don't forget, Soph, this is only 6 months difference, really. you are looking at, and everybody who watches this, listen to what I'm going to say now. In 6 months, the Arsenal team that Spurs smashed, played them off the park, and sit 8 points at the top of the table. In 6 months. And the teams didn't change that much, Soph. There's only a few players here and there who have changed. We didn't have Jesus today. He was really probably the only one you would say would be in our side, starting 11. Who would be different? For them, what is it? Bentancur, who they would say, but so we've both got one player out, so to speak. So in 6 months, we are just so much better. We are better than them, and we are the youngest team in the Premier League. That says to me, we keep on this trajectory, we're going to be in and around that top, challenging for years to come. I know contracts has to be sorted out. I know there has to be some recruitment done, and we didn't get the Mudryk deal done, but you know what? We're going to cover that, I'm sure.
Yeah.
But we're the youngest team in the league, and we're leading at the top by 8 points. It's not by coincidence. That's hard graft from the manager doing the coaching job. The coaching job ain't what Conte's talking about on the side. It's what he does on the training pitch to make people better. And we are so much better than we were 6 months ago. So big credit to Mikel Arteta. He gets a 10, by the way, because all of a sudden, when the chips were down and we needed to produce, the boys produced.
You know, Kev, the last 6 months have been amazing, and I'll say this on the show every single time in these moments where the mental side, I've been saying for a while, is where this Arsenal team will win or lose the ability to win the Premier League. And they've learned from last year, you're right. For Arteta, this is almost 3 years in the making now.
Mm-hmm.
And, you know, Emery, unfortunately, didn't work out for him. But we know that Emery's a really good manager. He's won the Europa League 4 times. He's doing well at Aston Villa. Long may that continue for him. But to be able to kind of really be given the ability to change a culture of a club, I think it needed someone who understood the club, having been an invincible. And the minute he walks in, he's like, what is this complacency? Everyone accepts mediocrity. Got to get rid of that. And Mikel Arteta comes in, having been, under the tutelage of Pep Guardiola. There's just, the what does he call them? The non-negotiables.
Mm-hmm.
And he had to clear the decks. The Cronkies have had to eat bad contracts. The club have had to eat bad contracts.
And that's painful.
And that's painful. And now we're seeing the fruition of all of that. But credit to them, because the players they've recruited, the new Arsenal 2.0, is really something incredible. This guy has a bit of the dark arts and shithousery about him, but he's a really good goalkeeper. This guy, unsung hero, is proving himself. This guy is just an incredible leader and has shown what he can do, on the footballer. Pitch. This guy right here is just so special. I mean, we've got to tie him down ASAP. The resurgence of this guy is nothing short of a miracle. We all know that he could be a Ballon d'Or winner one day, Martinelli, the way he plays, if he continues at the trajectory he is. Yeah. This is another guy that could be a Ballon d'Or winner if we win as well. I mean, Zinny is just already someone we've fallen in love with. Gabriel Magalhaes doesn't get enough sugar for me sometimes, Eddie stepping into one of the most high-pressure situations in the league. And there's no doubt about that. And, someone Josh wanted to sell Partey, and he's the Ferrari, but that doesn't have the wheels.
Have you noticed something, though? Josh the mechanic hasn't. Where is he?
Yeah, he's been busy. His new career is flying high down there.
But yeah, He wanted to sell him.
Yeah. I mean, and you know, we a few of us were critical. You've got a guy like him, like this guy. You need players like Tommy to come off the
Yep.
bench.
Chomping
And
at the bit to come on. Yep.
yep. And then, you know, today of all days, the victory of all victories, because Kev, before we duck out, I want to get your take on the Mudryk deal. What didn't happen? I was fighting all day on Twitter with Arsenal fans, trying to have them be reasonable. I mean, if we had lost today, the meltdown would have been absolutely ginormous. And what Mikel has been able to do with the players, Kev, was really quite unreal. And it was the most satisfying North London derby win for me, probably right up there with winning the league at White Hart Lane in terms of the new Arsenal and where we're going in this new direction. Your take on what happened with Mudryk?
Yeah, listen, I just think Shakhtar wanted the war of teams to push the price up. They got to a price and said, right, this is what we want. Arsenal weren't willing to meet it, which I totally get, and I think it's the right thing to do. So I honestly do. This is a player, everybody. He hasn't played 50 league games, played 30-something league games. And they're talking about 100 million euros. It's madness. It really is madness. And he won't be able to come in our team straight away because he's been off. He wouldn't be starting anyway. Where's he going to start? Look at the team we've got. Where's he going to start? So, and I know it's painful sometimes because we know we need bodies. But I truly believe Mikel Arteta and Edu will pivot and bring quality in because we don't have enough quality bodies. We just don't have enough.
Oh, and Kev, it's going to be, look, if we get to the end of the window, fans will have every right to be upset about that. By the way,
I'll be upset. I'll be upset, Soph. I'll tell you that much. Whereas last January, we were upset a little bit, and then it caught up with us. But we're going for a title here, Soph.
I know.
We are. We're going for a title. I want 3 players in. I don't care. I want 3 players in. If we get 2, I'm kicking off. I want 3 players.
Yeah, and look, there's a while to go, and let's hope that happens. Because as you can see, we still haven't kicked into the Europa League knockout phases. We've got an FA Cup game at the end of January. The games are going to come in thick and fast. Players are going to be a little bit tired as the season goes on. They may not be exhausted now, but they are going to be tired, and it would be remiss of the club and the owners to not invest. And a lot of people are saying, why do you think Kroenke loves... Did I say Kroenke loves Arsenal? Did I say that? I don't think I said that. What I'm saying is, people, right? Look what's happened at Chelsea, okay? Just right now, our club, the way it's run, and the belief that they showed and backing Mikel Arteta, the Kroenkes are currently one of the best owners in the Premier League. I've said that before, I'll say it again, and a lot of you came at me and some of you agreed with me. But currently, they are. And we have a responsible executive team that aren't willing to have their pants pulled down by a couple of mafiosos in the Ukraine or wherever in the world. And Mikel Arteta spoke about it on television afterwards, where he said, we have a level. And, we got Jesus for how much and Zinchenko for how much? They've won the Premier League, Kev. Yeah.
We've signed better players with more experience with Premier League for buttons compared to what they're paying for a really unproven but talented player. Hey, would we have liked him? Yeah, I'm sure we would have. But the fact it don't happen, as you can see, is making no difference to this team. You should think and you should want to be involved with Arsenal because it's a young team. It's going in the right direction. They're willing to take on everybody. This Arsenal team want to take everybody on. One game at a time. So, do you know what? Hey, good luck to Mudryk. Chelsea have probably offered him a king's ransom. Good luck to you. I wish you all the best. Just not against the Arsenal.
Exactly.
We move on. We pivot and we move on, guys. Because you know what? Look where we are. And look what we want to achieve. We may never get these opportunities again in January to strengthen, to help us push. And because we've got some big games coming up, we need the bodies.
100%. There's 1,165 of you in live chat. Amazing, amazing. Thank you so much for joining us. Cousin George, just so you know, he's texting me like mad, Super Kev, all right?
Yeah.
And he's like, talk about Benjamin White. I'm like, when did you tune into the show exactly? We've already talked about Benjamin White, Mr. George. And you want to shout out? There you go. There's your shout out. Try and tune in on time next time, right, Super Kev?
George, come on. We've covered everybody. But you know what? I gotta say something about the Arsenal fans that were there. It's not easy. You got to run the gauntlet when you go to Tottenham, getting in and out of that stadium. It's not nice. But didn't the boys perform so well to make you proud? No goals against, 2 goals for, and the Arsenal could celebrate on enemy territory. Absolutely brilliant. What a team performance that was. Do you know what? Be proud. Watch it again on Match of the Day. Watch it again when they watch the rerun. Without the nerves this time.
Without the nerves. Totally. I'm going to do exactly that. Going to watch some NFL playoffs as well.
Yeah.
Never want to leave 1,200 of you hanging in live chat, that's for sure. But we're going to be back live tomorrow night, and we have a very, very special guest with us tomorrow night. Vic Akers will be joining Squad Central. Vic was at the recent unveiling of the new art at our Emirates Stadium, and he'll be coming to join us. Dave Seeger will pop in for a little bit too to join us on tomorrow's show, having written a ton of books about the Arsenal, and also there at the unveiling last week. As we know, our Super Kev is immortalized now on the walls of, I was going to say Highbury.
Well, technically it is Highbury, but it's at the Emirates, which is cool.
So we're going to get a great report, an insider view on that. And of course, Vic is a legend, and to have him on the show, he loves Super Kev, and he loves the Highbury days.
This really is going to be a trip down memory lane for me.
It will be. Yeah, it will be.
I first met Vic when I was 12. So you could ask him all the questions about young Kev.
Can't wait.
It's going to be brilliant.
It's going to be brilliant, which is why we wanted to get the post North London Derby show in now. And it will be a very, very special conversation with Vic Akers. Kev, you got any? I'm going to be on TalkSport a bit later on with Paul Ross. And then tomorrow morning, I'll be on Sky Sports News Paper Talk at 7:30 a.m. I can't wait for that. Can't wait to see what the headlines are tomorrow, Super Kev.
So if I'll be honest with you, I think I'll be tuning in to you. I'll be listening yet again. Definitely, I'll be listening yet again. But you know what, so North London is red. This is our day. After what happened there last year, as I said, 6 months, look what Arsenal team turns up today. And they had the Kanes and the Sons and the Kulishevsky. They had them all. We done the business. North London is red. And the salute goes out to all the Gooners around the world and the team, the management, and all the people on the upstairs. Because you know why? We're Gooners, people. We're Gooners. Love ya. Take good care. And at ease on Super Sunday. At ease.
Mind the gap between the train and the platform. Please stand clear of the discussion doors. The next stop is Highbury Squad.